Today I'm reviewing the Hurache-X All Court from 11SIX24. 11SIX24 sent me this paddle in exchange for a review. There was no money exchanged and I did not guarantee a positive review or anything like that. And I do want to thank Dave over at 11SIX24 for sending me this paddle to review. I'm a smaller channel and I appreciate him supporting me. Stats for this paddle are up on the screen right now. The biggest thing that's going to stand out about this paddle for a lot of people is the handle length. This is a 6-inch handle, and so if you like your two-handed backhands and you like your two-handed forehands, this is probably going to be a paddle that you're going to want to consider. Overall, it's considered an elongated shape, and that comes with some benefits, and it also comes with some downsides depending on how you play. And we're going to talk about those as we get into the review. So when I'm talking about the playability, I'm going to cover 3 particular categories. The first one is going to be drives and serves. The second is going to be drops and resets. And the third is going to be dinks and kitchen play. So let's talk about our drives and our serves. Overall, because of the elongated shape and the high swing weight, drives and serves are powerful. I did not lack for power at all when I was playing with this paddle, and in fact, sometimes I overdid it, especially when I ended up holding the handle and kind of overlapping my fingers off the end of it just to try and get a little bit more power or a little bit more topspin. I would end up just overcooking a serve or a drive. So that is one thing to watch out for if you're planning to get a paddle like this, especially one with a longer handle. Things are whippier, and so the power comes on unexpectedly sometimes. You're swinging the same way, but because of your hand position on the handle, all of a sudden you've got more power. So be aware of that. But I was able to dip the ball lots and be able to get a lot of topspin with it. If I wanted to get some slice spin on it, I could get that as well. And no concerns as far as when it comes to driving and serving, other than the fact that you need to be aware that your hand position on the handle is going to greatly affect the amount of power, because you're going to get a little bit more whip if you're holding on to the very end of the handle. So with drops and resets, when I first started playing with the paddle, I did find that I was getting a few more pop-ups than normal, but I think that was just an adjustment period to the paddle. Obviously, the harder the ball is hit, the harder it is to keep your drops low. But I did find that on average, I could get drops in and I could reset quite well with the paddle. The twist weight on this paddle is pretty good, and so I did not feel like the paddle was twisting out of my hand. The biggest issue that I had with resets was indexing the paddle, because the handle does feel a little more rounded than I'm used to. But overall, when the paddle was indexed correctly and I was putting it in the right position, because I'm terrible at that, I could count on the balls resetting consistently and also dropping balls consistently with the paddle. Moving on to dinks and in the kitchen, this is where I found that this paddle did not suit my style of play. While the dinks were fine, whenever I did get into a hands battle, I did find that the paddle was a little bit slow in my hands. Could I counter that with some more weight lower on the paddle? Probably so, maybe an end cap weight or something like that. But it's pretty heavy to begin with, and so adding even more weight would probably tire my arm out, just because of, like I said, the way that I play. But dinking, I had no problems with cross-court dinking, and when I wanted to get 2 hands on it, it was there. I mean, the handle is just perfect for if you're dinking and you want to get some two-handed backhand dinks. no complaints there. That's one of the highlights of this paddle is the length of this handle. So if I were to compare this paddle to another one, I would say it compares similarly to the Vatic Pro Saga 16 millimeter. I haven't played the elongated, but so I'm comparing it to the flash version. The biggest differentiators being that the Hurache-X All Court is a heavier paddle, so it does feel slower when it comes to hand battles. But if you take a look at that handle length, the handle length is significantly longer. This is the standard shaped handle, and I don't even think the long handled version is as long as the 11SIX24. So if you're a big two-handed backhand person and you can deal with the slower hand speed, then this would be a paddle to go with. Quality-wise, the paddle feels extremely solid. I'm not feeling any kind of twist or bending in it. Nice stiff paddle, stiff face. The handle feels stiff, and it's made from high quality material. As far as the appearance goes, the green edge guard as well as the graphics on the paddle make it stand out on the court, but it's not like, you know, walking up and seeing a super bright paddle like some of the other ones that are out there. As far as value is concerned, this is a good value. It's $150, but if you use my code GenXDinks when you check out at 11SIX24's website, you'll get $10 off, bringing this down to $140, which is comparable to many other paddles of this generation, build style and quality style. In addition, you get a 180-day warranty with this. Would I like to see it longer like the Jelly Bean? Yes, but I still think 180 days is a decent warranty, considering depending on how much you play, you might be replacing a paddle every 6 months anyway. So overall, I give this a thumbs up. This is a paddle that I would recommend to people who have a two-handed backhand game and are able to handle the weight of the paddle, and for people who are looking to have power come quite easily that they don't have to muscle into. That's what is a good paddle for. But it's still balanced at the net when you're dinking and having to reset. Thanks for watching. Please dink the like button if you like content like this. And next week I'll have another paddle review for you. Until then, I'll see you out on the pickleball courts.